A plaintive lament from the epic movie trilogy, The Lord of the Rings. There is, though, little to lament about the Tolkien brand. A staggering 150 million people have bought the books, 50 million of those since the film trilogy wowed fans and critics alike. J.R.R. Tolkien's classic work of fantasy started out in his mind as a book written for his children.
I read to my children, then read the two elder ones, who took kindly and on the whole favourable interest in it. But they criticised very severely, and first opened my eyes to the whole situation which led to my essay on fairy stories, criticised very severely all those things in which, by owing to bad models, I thought was suitable to put into children's stories. They hated asides, anything like, so now I've told you enough. They loathed anything that made it sound as if you were talking to an actual audience.
The audience for Tolkien's books remains voracious and committed. And now, some 50 years after the publication of The Lord of the Rings, the Tolkien Literary Estate have published a new work, The Children of Húrin. Tolkien began writing it in the trenches during the First World War. Parts of it, though, have been seen before.
The Children of Húrin hasn't been published as a standalone tale. And it's been published in works, and also it was a long time ago, before, among other things, before the films made Tolkien doubly, triply popular. And it's published in what are scholarly works. And you can read the stories just for the stories, skipping the notes, but you're not going to get a simple start-to-finish story. And they're published with the name of very exact literary analysis, which means that if the story, it's one version of the story, and if it's interrupted, it stops there, whereas The Children of Húrin, the new book, is worked together from all the author's words, but to become a standalone story that can be read as such.
However, fans of Bilbo Baggins may be in for a bit of a shock with The Children of Húrin. It is a dark tale of incest and betrayal, and one in which most of the protagonists kill themselves or each other.
I think a bit too much is being made of the incest. It's part of the tragedy of the story, that this brother and sister don't know that they're brother and sister. But it is definitely a tragic tale. But I don't know. I don't know what people will make of it. It takes place in a part of Middle-earth that doesn't exist anymore when The Lord of the Rings takes place, but it's very much Middle-earth. It's very much the same world. And it's a more serious tale, in a sense, than The Lord of the Rings.
While The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings remain the most popular of Tolkien's books, his more obscure works, dealing with the ancient history of elves and men, were to him all part of the same mythic tapestry.
There are in existence a very large, now collected and practically written, but legends about the world of the past, particularly after the exiled elves came back and conducted their war against the devil in the northwestern part of this world we live in, and the connection of the men who joined in with them.
We hope to strike a chord in people who've discovered the stories of Middle-earth with The Lord of the Rings, but who don't really know about the other works, or who've found them too difficult. And we think that this tale in particular, which was one tale that the author did work at enough so that we can produce a full-length story, it's a beautiful tale in itself, and it may or may not strike a chord. People may think that it doesn't have enough hobbits in it.